How's it going? Your old pal Jim. Side Gig Life. We are here. We are shipping. It's a different angle. Let's get started. So, I thought I'd do an angle more of what I'm actually doing with my hands so that you can see, that part of it. So, first thing we're shipping are glasses. These are Elizabeth Arden's. Glasses can sell well. They've been slow for me recently. But, yeah. Brand matters, of course. Style, things like that. So, keep that in mind. And a couple videos ago, I had mentioned how I save my box flaps when I'm cutting boxes down. This is a reason why. So just tape all this together, and then I can show you. Here's a box flap, right? Flap of a box. We're gonna wrap the glasses in the box flap like so. Tape it down. And now this can ship in a bag and it won't be broken unless the carrier is really negligent about it. Sorry about that. So we're just going to pop it in a bag here. Weigh it up. I'm out here by myself today, so pulling double duty. All my items are already pulled. Throw it on the scale. Got my wife a coffee, so we'll move that out of the way. I'm up early because I took my son to practice. He's on the JV soccer team. My phone might fall. It's on the window and I cleaned it, so hopefully it doesn't. But I set up the holder there. Oh, and I don't have my totes. I set up the holder before I left to make sure my angle was good and all that. When I came back, it had fallen down. So after that is when I cleaned the window and decided, to prevent. Oh, I didn't show you what this was. This is a Christmas tree remote. Like, you can turn it on by plugging this into your outlet, and then you can control your lights with, I don't know if it's a remote or it's a remote, so you can control your lights with a remote. It wasn't on a video or anything like that, so it's an old stock item. A lot of the stuff that I sell is, I don't want to say lower dollar, but is, how shall I put it? Lower value, I guess? I don't know. Not 7 pounds, 7 ounces. Stuff in the $20 to $30 range, sometimes as low as 10, depending on what it is. If it's something off of a wholesale pallet and I'm just trying to get my money back or make minimal profits, I don't find a lot of the home run quote unquote stuff like you see on some YouTube channels where they're only showing you. This Minolta bag is next. That's from our local haul video. A lot of channels just show you the big stuff that they sell. Like, I sold $800 worth of stuff. I'm like, okay, we show you everything, and a lot of times it's not super high value. You know, if I sell something for over like $100, that's high value for me. But a lot of times it's just small, you know, bread and butter is what we like to call it. Just everyday stuff that's all 10 ounces. I forgot to look. 6. Just everyday stuff. Nothing super rare, or, you know, of course, if I find something like that, I will scoop it up. But a lot of times it's not that. It's just your everyday stuff that you know sells solid. And often you want to find stuff that sells a lot and for decent money. You know, not every item has to be a home run, you know, $1,000 item. You know, you're not going to find those every day or every time you go out shopping. Next is this Pampered Chef. They call it a tool turnabout. It's like a lazy Susan. That part spins. And we're going to put it in the large bubble wrap. I am going to do a video today about what shipping supplies you need to get started. And we may talk about like taking good pictures for eBay. Things like that. So, and I'm going to go out and spark. So we're doing a lot today. So as long as you have the right stuff, shipping is really easy. Like, you don't have to worry about, don't overcomplicate things, you know, just be prepared with the right stuff. And again, you don't have to have it all right away. You don't even need to stuff the box with anything. That's nice. That box is shipping for $6.50. Holy cow. Going to New York. Set that over there. Okay, next is 3 of these Gillette Intimate Pubic Shave Creams. Sold a 3-pack. It's a liquidation palette thing. So, not really concerned about profits. I'm just concerned about getting my money back. So, and again, this is one of these not exciting items. A lot of my stuff, you know. In fact, I don't see anything over there that's really like, oh my gosh. Can be tricky to get these types of products to stay still inside the bubble wrap. So we're going to make sure nothing moves. There you go. Bag it from here. And I won't say I've never had something like this break during shipping, but it's rare. So bubble wrap and bag is fine. You could box it if you wanted to, something like that. The box is small enough to where it's not going to add, unless you go from like 2 pounds to 3 pounds or something like that, because your product is right at, you know, 2 pounds, 14 ounces or something. Next we've got Outburst Junior. I've actually I passed up on this exact version a couple of times. Just yesterday in Philly and Jersey, and because I knew I had one listed and it wasn't selling, and then it sold. This was while I was out. I was just in a, I think Pennsauken had like 2 or 3 of them. And I was like, it's not selling. I'll just leave it behind. And then I left the store, drove away. Like I was like, I don't know, 10 minutes from the store. And it sells. So I didn't want to double back for it because, you know, who knows if it's going to sell on a regular basis now. But a lot of times, you're just waiting for other sellers to get out of the way. You know, like, this game sells often enough, you know, but other sellers might be at $15 where you're at $20, let's say. I got a little more for this than that, but so you just want to knock those sellers out, let them sell their product first, and then get your price. But this one did sit for probably about a month. But I know that it'll sell eventually. I just have to wait for other sellers. And then the tricky thing with that is you're waiting for not only the seller that has it listed, but any new sellers that come on that sorry, I'm reviewing prices, that want to compete with that low dollar seller. So instead of just doing the research and seeing like, hey, this product does sell a lot for $15, but it pretty regularly sells for $20. So why not get the extra $5 if you have room on the shelf? If you don't have room, then obviously, you know, you want to buy stuff that sells quickly and turnaround inventory, and we'll go over all of that as well in upcoming videos. But the videos I want to do first is like what you need to get started kind of stuff. Like before you open your store and you start buying inventory, you need bubble wrap. You need access to boxes, or you need to buy boxes. Well, the reason why I say that is you can use any box just to ship stuff in. So if you work somewhere where they, you know, let's say boxes of whatever, I don't know, whatever comes to an office that would be boxed, or like I don't know, you can use any box. It can be food, like I've received stuff in like cardboard boxes that other like food items would be in, like a case of candy. The cardboard box that's used to ship those candies in. I've received stuff in those types of boxes. I've received stuff in, like, once I received a case of beer. There's the Hullabaloo. Now this buyer actually reached out to me and said that they want this by Friday or Saturday at the latest. Even though it's bubble wrapped, it is a tin box game, which is more likely to crumble, buckle. So we're going to put it in a box, and I just hope this box is big enough. I don't know, I'm having my doubts now. Nope, not going to make it. If it's the same either way. Yes, it is. Alright. Feel like I can even, just by pushing down on it a little bit. So let's see what we got. In our spare boxes, that's the same. So let's keep that together. That is ridiculously big. Like if I wanted to, I could use this box to ship something in. And when you're just starting out, that's okay. You can do that if you want to. Since I don't have a box and they want it expressly, I'm going to cut up this box to protect it as if it were in a box. We're just going to basically wrap it like I did those glasses. And normally I would not do this, but this customer wants it by a certain day. So we're going to honor that. And it doesn't have to be perfect because it is going to go in a bag anyway. So this method is what a lot of sellers call Frankenboxing. And again, I'm not looking to ship it like this, although, you know, you kind of could, but I am going to put it in a bag just to be somewhat professional about it. I do have these super big bags for cases like this where I have to do something weird, or I've got another board game over there that's going to go in a bag this size. And as you get going and you start selling more, and you know, you can invest in a variety of shipping utensils for your business, and it's really not that expensive. I'm going to take that down. It's not necessary for you to tape it down, but like I said before, I don't want it to get snagged. So there it is, finished product. Because I had to add extra layers, we're just going to measure, and always measure generously. Like this is technically 12, 13, 6. I'm going to do 13, 13, 7. Just because I don't want it to get flagged for an audit and then I have to pay retail to ship that. It's only going to New Hampshire from Delaware, so that's not too bad. I looked at the weight before. Let's see. So UPS ground, we'll get it there Friday. US mail will get it there Saturday. FedEx is significantly higher, so we're not doing that. So let's do UPS ground. It's from US mail to UPS is about $3 more, which is a lot to pay extra for shipping, but to make the customer happy, we're going to pay extra for shipping. And she said that she would pay extra, but really there's enough profit here to where I can do without the extra $3 on that item to make the customer happy. It's probably a birthday present or something, so I don't want some kid to be upset. Categories Junior, we buy these whenever we see them. Now my setup with the bubble wrap up on the wall and all that, you know, I've been doing this over 12 years now, so I don't want you to think that you have to set up like this with your own building and everything else right away. You don't. I started out in my living room in a townhouse. I was working off of like a 4-foot folding table as like my shipping station. I kept bubble wrap in a box so that I could pull it out and the wrap wouldn't roll all over the place. So you don't have to, you know, have all the bells and whistles, if you will, right away. You know, and I worked out of that living room with a large bookshelf as my storage space for 2 or 3 years. It was a while. That can be done. And it's okay. You know, I did probably $3,000-$4,000 a month in sales out of a space like that. This is going to Greensboro. UPS is going to save me like 19 cents. So we're going to take that 19 cents. And doing stuff like that, like micro savings, helps you when you decide to help out somebody. Like that last game that I just shipped. You know, it all works out in the end is what I'm saying. So let's get This is the first edition Game of Life. Sold that pretty quick too. This was the large game that I was saying I'm going to need those big boxes, because it's going to take up every bit of this 24-inch wide bubble wrap, with just enough for me to cover the sides. See, I think I'm liking this angle. You know, it's more interesting for you, the viewer, to actually see what I'm doing, instead of just looking at my ugly face. Now you've got something more entertaining than just me talking at you. So today we're going to spark, and it's rainy. I'm not looking forward to that especially. Hurricane Erin is just off, not just off, pretty far away from the coast of North Carolina, but she's trending towards the coast. She's not going to quite hit the coast, but it's still going to affect us here. We're already seeing coastal flooding and stuff, which could affect me because I'm not very far from the bay. And there's a ton of rivers that reach inland towards me. I live right off of a branch, so that could flood and affect us here. Our basement tends to flood. It hasn't since we moved in, but we're expecting something to happen here, very potentially. So. I'm just letting the air out of it. So, because I had the right size bag, that was super easy. Just confirm my dimensions, because I don't sell this one very often at all. (21.14.3). I had it in there as 24.16.3, so I'm actually going to save some of my dimensions. Did I say 24.13? You know, if Ashley were out here, 24.14, I could have just yelled it at her and she would have been like, okay, pop it in the system. So let's see, this is going to Bellevue, Washington State, which sucks. But 11:45, not too shabby. I am definitely going to do a short today about how I figure out shipping costs while I'm in the thrift stores. That'll be today. What you need to ship on a very elementary, I guess, beginner level. That'll be today. All right, next stack. We're almost done, actually. This Napa Valley, gotta step out, DVD holder with the slider here. Sold that already. We bought 2 of these not too long ago, so I'm going to use this. All right. We'll use the small bubble. When I say small, I mean small width. 12 and 24. That's what I use. You also make 36, but I think that's kind of ridiculous. If you're having to wrap something 36 inches, you better be making profits on it. And this is gonna go in probably a Walmart box, like a moving box. And I don't know if it'll work. Not quite. That's not good. So I pulled it too much, which made it uneven. So we're just going to reset it in the bubble. Probably should have used the large. Not my favorite wrap job, but there it is. All the important stuff is wrapped, and it's going in a box anyway. So let's see what we have. This might work. It's Walmart. Small. Nope, it will not. So I'm going to need a Walmart medium box, which I don't have. Maybe I do. I do. They recently changed their dimensions on their boxes, so this is the old box, which is 19 inches wide. New ones are 22. That would definitely work. Does this work? Oh, just barely. Yes, it will work. So now we're going to cut this box down using our handy dandy boxer sizer. You don't need one of these, but it's awfully nice to have. Just line it up to the product. Cut away. There's a lot of void fill. I don't know if I can angle it. Yep, there you go. So we want to fill that space next to the product. Not that I think it's going to slide around, or even if it does, it's not going to hurt the item probably at all. But again, just for customer appreciation, satisfaction, we're going to take this super thick stuff, and you don't need a lot of it. Shove it on down in there. And we'll cut some more flaps, so we'll have some more flaps. Save those. Don't always cut straight, which makes it awkward to tape the box down. Get that flap section. lost the tape. This is every shipper's worst nightmare. Got it. And that's it there, all done. Now, because of the size of the box, the shipping could be expensive. I don't know where it's going. But, let's see. 1914.9. Let's see. Oh yeah, it's going to California. Sheesh. 4 pounds. Aye. Oh no. I might have to cut this box down further somehow. Yeah. So instead of using void fill, we're going to cut this box further. See if that's grooved enough. Be easier if I turned it around. Let's do that. All right. Sorry if this is boring for some of you, but just some of the things that we have to do. Because this is going to save me like $10, so. Cut out these guys here. Hoping this is going to work. This is the first time I've done anything like this. Instead of just going and buying an appropriately sized box. Let's see. Ah, the box broke. Dang it. Alright. So we're going to have to buy a box that's appropriately sized because it is going to California. I'm not going to pay $25 to ship it when I paid $4 for it and I sold it for $30. So that box is now garbage. I got a nice fat flap out of it. I can cut those other boxes down, cut that other scrap down for flaps. Set this aside, I'll deal with that later. Next up, Balderdash. This is about the newest version that I'll buy to sell. And that's one. That last one is just something you have to deal with from time to time. You are going to sell all over the country. I believe, now I haven't signed up for eBay in over a decade, but I believe you have to agree to at least ship to the lower 48 states. You don't have to ship for free, but you have to at least ship to the lower 48. So you can't say, oh, well, I don't want to ship to California if you're in Delaware like me, or, you know, you don't want to ship to Montana if you live in Florida or whatever, you know. You need a slightly bigger bag. That's down here. All right. Now I could just tape cardboard to all four sides of that DVD holder, and then that'll be that. It'll be protected enough, I think, it's just the shipping to California is what's got me worried. So I want to make sure it gets there as safely as possible. Get the dimensions right on this one. And it didn't make a difference in the price, which is fine. So I've got two more to ship after this one. One of them I literally just pictured last night. So that's fun. This one, Pong, Atari Pong. There's no picture of it on the box, but it's basically like just something you'd keep like on a table in a game room, two-player Pong without having to... I don't like that either. Like they have Pong tables where it's just, you know, like a full-size table. This is like a handheld version of that. I bought this from a store called Ocean State Job Lot. They're mainly in the Northeast New England area. They're now creeping down to the Mid-Atlantic. They bought out a couple of Big Lots locations. but they have these, like, I think they're called crazy deals or something, where I spent $80 a piece on these Pongs, and then I bought 2 of them, so I got $160 in gift cards to use in the store. So this item was basically free, and I used those gift cards when I had a Walmart store to buy Walmart inventory. So I was getting free inventory because I sold this for 80 bucks. 80, yeah, I think 80 on eBay. So after I sell this stuff and then the fees and the shipping, I'm basically getting $160 in store credit for like $120. Or rather, for $40. Sorry. Which means that my profit on the stuff that I bought for Walmart from that store was super, super good. Because I'm buying $160 worth of stuff for 40 bucks. And then I'm flipping that around as well, so. It's just using the benefits of the store to your advantage, you know. Make sure I got the weight right. Yeah. So this is shipping in Minnesota. It's going to ship ground saver for about $1.60 less than U.S. mail. So and the next thing I listed just last night, and it's the last thing, this Villaware pasta maker, which was part of that gift set that I bought from Goodwill. Nope. On my my Delaware Goodwill haul video. And these always do well. If you can find them in complete condition, good shape. I don't like how it just moved around in there, so we're going to secure it inside the box. What did I do with that paper? We're going to reuse this paper. We don't need a ton of it. Hopefully you can just hear by how it crumbles, like it's super thick. Which makes it great for, it's even hard to push down. Jeez. Alright. Now we're in there. And we can continue. And nothing's moving around in there, that's for sure. Now, even though I'm boxing this, I still bubble wrap it. And again, that's for the customer, not so much for the item. Because customers do look at seller feedback before they buy items, particularly on expensive stuff. So when I do sell something pricey, I want to have that advantage by having customer validation of, you know, I ship even the smallest stuff well packaged. And safely, so. There's a little space on the top. So we're going to get back to this paper. Now this paper is very thick, but it's also very heavy. So keep that in mind. You definitely want to always use as close to the right size box as you can. So it's 9 pounds. Sheesh. So this is going to Utah, which again is one of those, don't really want to ship it there. But FedEx Ground Economy is only 12 bucks, where US mail is 17. Again, with heavier items, this is probably medium sized, I would say. It's just something you're going to have to deal with. And still, using my estimations is still right in line with what I would expect to the ship cost to be. So that's it, guys. I'm clean shaven. We're going to pack this stuff up. Let's move this way. There we go. I'm going to pack this stuff up in the car. We're going to get going, get our Spark Day going. I'll do a quick video here now, going over shipping stuff. Then we'll spark, and then maybe we'll do pictures or something else. I don't know. Lots of videos today. So like, comment, subscribe, all that happy horseshit. We'll catch you next time.